The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday morning at every major radio telescope on Earth. At first, the scientists thought it was a glitch in their systems, all frequencies simultaneously receiving the same structured signal. But as computers worldwide began decoding the transmission, the truth became clear. Humanity was no longer alone. This is the Stellar Dominion, speaking on behalf of the Galactic Council. The translated message began. The words appeared on screens at NASA, ESA, and other space agencies around the globe. Staff members stood frozen, watching as more text followed. Your species has been monitored since your first radio transmissions. Your technological growth rate is deemed unstable and threatening. In Washington, D.C., General Robert Thompson stared at the massive screen in the Pentagon's command center. His coffee cup hung forgotten in his hand as he read the next lines. Submit to immediate oversight and control by the Stellar Dominion, or face extinction. You have 48 Earth hours to respond. The world changed in those moments. Stock markets crashed within hours. Religious leaders called for emergency gatherings. Military forces worldwide went to their highest alert levels. Social media exploded with panic, theories, and desperate calls for unity. President Williams called an emergency meeting of world leaders. For the first time in history, old enemies sat together in virtual conference rooms, all faces grave with understanding. This was no longer about borders, resources, or ancient grudges. This was about survival. They think they can threaten us. The Russian president's voice was cold with anger. They expect us to bow down because they have better ships. No, the Chinese premier replied, leaning forward. They expect us to fight each other in panic, to waste our 48 hours in blame and fear. The Indian Prime Minister nodded. Then we must disappoint them. Humanity has never truly united before. Perhaps we needed an outside threat to show us how petty our differences are. Their discussion was interrupted by new data from the scientific community. Analysis of the transmission source revealed a massive fleet of ships hidden behind Mars. They had been there for days, watching, waiting. The Stellar Dominion had made one critical mistake. They assumed humanity would react like other young species, with fear, division, and submission. They didn't understand what they were dealing with. In orbit, the International Space Station's cameras caught the first glimpse of a Dominion scout ship decloaking. It was beautiful in its alien design, all smooth curves and shimmering metal. The sight of it struck fear in many hearts, but others felt something different: determination. Military satellites tracked more scout ships entering Earth's atmosphere. They took positions over major cities, their presence an unspoken threat. But they didn't find panic in the streets below. Instead, they saw something unprecedented. People were gathering, not in riot or chaos, but in solidarity. In New York, Moscow, Beijing, London, and thousands of other cities, millions stood together in silent defiance. Humanity had made its choice before any official response was sent. In the end, it was a simple message that the United Nations broadcast in response. We have received your threat. Humanity will not submit to extinction or slavery. If you want our world, you will have to fight for it. And we warn you, we do not fight to survive. We fight to win. The Dominion ships received the transmission. Their commanders probably laughed at such defiance from a primitive species. They didn't understand that humans had been preparing for this moment through centuries of science fiction, gaming, and military planning. They didn't know that every human child had grown up wondering about aliens, imagining this very scenario. They certainly didn't realize that while their scouts watched the cities, hundreds of military bases worldwide were already implementing long-prepared alien invasion protocols. Humanity had been ready for this possibility long before it became reality. As the 48-hour deadline approached, Earth's defenders prepared for war. They faced an advanced alien empire with superior technology and centuries of space warfare experience. But they had something the Dominion couldn't understand: the unbreakable human spirit, forged through millennia of survival against all odds. The aliens had demanded war. They were about to learn why that was a terrible mistake. The world changed more in 7 days than it had in the previous 100 years. Old enemies became allies, and former rivals shared their deepest military secrets. In underground bunkers across the globe, scientists worked together on humanity's best chance for survival. It started with a gift from the enemy: 3 crashed scout ships. The Dominion's overconfident pilots had flown too low, trying to intimidate Earth's population. They hadn't expected surface-to-air missiles to be effective against their shields. Their mistake became humanity's advantage. In Area 51, Dr. Tom Miller led the reverse engineering team. He hadn't slept in 3 days, but his hands remained steady as he examined the alien power core. "It's beautiful," he told his international team of engineers. "They use quantum fields to trap energy in crystalline matrices. But look at how rigid their systems are." They never expected anyone to modify their tech. The military didn't wait for scientific breakthroughs. Every factory worldwide switched to war production. Car plants began making tanks and aircraft. Smartphone manufacturers converted their precision electronics lines to produce weapon systems. Even toy companies joined in, their plastic molding machines now creating parts for drones and robots. General Thompson stood in the new Global Defense Command Center, built inside Mount Cheyenne in just 5 days. Screens showed the worldwide preparation efforts. "We've got civilians digging bunkers by hand," his aide reported. "Everyone wants to help. They know what's coming." The first breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A teenage gamer from Brazil noticed something about the alien shield technology from leaked footage. "Their shields pulse at regular intervals," she wrote in a viral post, "just like the boss patterns in Space Invaders." Military scientists confirmed her observation. The Dominion's shields were incredibly powerful but predictable. They had never needed to change their defensive patterns because no species had ever exploited this weakness before. Earth's satellites caught massive energy signatures as more Dominion ships arrived behind Mars. They were gathering their fleet, preparing for what they thought would be an easy conquest. They didn't know that humans were already adapting their own weapons. In orbit, the International Space Station transformed into a military observation post. The crew worked tirelessly to install new sensors designed to study alien technology. "They're so confident, they don't even try to hide their engine signatures," reported Commander Bill Reed. "We can track every ship in their fleet." The United Earth Defense Force formed from the best soldiers of every nation. They trained together, learning to operate new weapons designed to fight an alien enemy. Old military doctrines were thrown out. New tactics were developed based on everything humanity had learned from studying the scout ships. Underground facilities worldwide began producing a new kind of weapon. Based on the alien power cores, these pulse guns could match the frequency of Dominion shields and punch right through them. The first tests exceeded all expectations. Civilians did their part too. Millions volunteered for emergency response teams. Farmers increased food production and built underground storage. Computer programmers worldwide worked on cyber warfare systems designed to hack alien computers. "We're not ready," General Thompson told the Global Defense Council, "but we're far more prepared than they think we are." The Dominion expects to find scared primitives. Instead, they'll face a united human race that spent every second getting ready for this fight. A network of orbital defense platforms was rushed into space, disguised as communication satellites. Each one carried newly developed weapons based on alien technology. The Dominion ships in orbit didn't give them a second glance. On the 30th day after first contact, Earth's long-range sensors detected movement. The Dominion fleet was advancing. They had grown tired of waiting and decided to begin their attack. All forces to battle stations. General Thompson's order went out worldwide. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Humanity had spent a month preparing for this moment. They had studied their enemy, adapted their technology, and united their forces. The Dominion thought they were attacking a primitive world. They were about to learn how dangerous humans could be when fighting for survival. As the alien fleet approached, Earth's defenders took their positions. The greatest battle in human history was about to begin. The Dominion fleet appeared over Earth like a swarm of metal stars. 500 warships, each larger than an aircraft carrier, moved into attack formation. Their commander, no doubt feeling confident, broadcast a final warning to Earth. "This is your last chance to surrender," the alien message stated. "Resist, and we will show no mercy." Earth's response came in the form of total radio silence. The Dominion ships detected no transmissions, no radar, nothing. It looked as if humanity had gone dark in fear. This was exactly what General Thompson had planned. "Let them think we're cowering," he said from the command bunker. "Let them come closer." Around him, military personnel watched their screens intently. The trap was set. The first wave of Dominion fighters descended into the atmosphere, heading toward major cities. They expected to find helpless targets. Instead, they flew straight into humanity's first surprise. Hidden pulse cannons activated worldwide. These weapons, reverse-engineered from alien technology, fired bursts that matched the exact frequency of Dominion shields. The aliens had never faced an enemy who could do this. "Target hit," shouted a gunner in London. Similar reports came in from Moscow, Beijing, New York, and dozens of other cities. Dominion fighters fell from the sky by the dozens, their supposedly impenetrable shields useless against weapons that spoke their own language. The alien commander, shocked by the loss of their first wave, ordered a full attack. This was their second mistake. As their main fleet entered the atmosphere, humanity revealed its next surprise. Orbital defense platforms, disguised as regular satellites, powered up. Each platform carried a modified version of the aliens' own energy weapons. The Dominion ships found their shields being hit by familiar technology, twisted in ways they had never imagined. "All orbital platforms, execute Pattern Alpha," General Thompson ordered. The platforms began to move, using simple thrusters to dodge enemy fire while maintaining their attack. Earth's scientists had designed them to be expendable but deadly. In space, the battle looked like a light show. Green Dominion energy beams crossed with the blue pulses of Earth's weapons. Several alien capital ships exploded, their reactor cores overloaded by precisely targeted shots. But the Dominion was far from defeated. Their remaining ships launched a massive counterattack, targeting Earth's defense platforms. Many were destroyed, but they had served their purpose. The alien fleet was now scattered and disorganized. This was when humanity unveiled its master stroke. Hidden bunkers worldwide opened, revealing squadrons of fighters. These were human aircraft modified with salvaged alien technology. They were crude by Dominion standards, but they had one crucial advantage. Their pilots were human. "All squadrons, engage at will," came the order. "Show them how Earth fights." The human pilots flew in ways the aliens had never seen. They deliberately cut power to perform impossible maneuvers. They used the planet's gravity and atmosphere as weapons. Some even rammed their targets after their weapons were depleted, their cockpits designed to eject and survive such suicide runs. In orbit, a Dominion capital ship commander watched in horror as his fleet was torn apart by what he had dismissed as primitive savages. The humans weren't fighting like any species they had encountered. They fought with desperate creativity, turning the aliens' own technology against them in ways that defied conventional space combat doctrine. The battle raged for 6 hours. When it ended, the once mighty Dominion fleet was in ruins. Over 300 of their ships had been destroyed or disabled. The rest retreated in disarray, jumping to faster-than-light speed with catastrophic damage. On Earth, celebrations broke out worldwide. But in the command bunker, General Thompson remained serious. This was just their first attack force, he reminded his staff. They'll be back, and they'll be ready for our tricks this time. The humans had won their first major battle against an alien empire. They had proved they could fight back, could hurt their supposedly superior enemy. But this was just the beginning. As cleanup crews moved to salvage more alien technology from the wrecked ships, humanity began preparing for the next phase of the war. The Dominion would return, but Earth would be ready. The aliens had demanded war, and humanity was just getting started. 2 months after Earth's first victory, humanity was ready to take the fight to the enemy. Scientists had learned much from the captured Dominion ships, including something vital: their faster-than-light travel coordinates. They never expected us to crack their navigation systems, Dr. Miller explained to the Global Defense Council. The Dominion's arrogance is our greatest weapon. They store their military base locations right in their ship's computers. General Thompson stood before the newly commissioned United Earth Fleet. 10 ships, built in secret underground facilities, represented humanity's first space navy. They looked like strange hybrids, human designs powered by modified alien technology. "Today, we stop playing defense," he told the crews. "Today, we show the Dominion that threatening Earth was their biggest mistake." The fleet's flagship, named Humanity's Pride, carried a weapon the aliens would never expect: a massive electromagnetic pulse generator designed to shut down their sophisticated systems. Next to it, modern Earth computers looked primitive, but had one advantage: they could be easily restarted. The human fleet jumped into faster-than-light travel for the first time. The crews had trained for months in simulators, but nothing prepared them for the real thing. Stars stretched into lines of light as the ships tore through space. They emerged near a major Dominion supply base. The alien traffic controllers were so surprised to see unknown ships using their technology that they didn't raise the alarm fast enough. "All ships, execute Operation Thunderstrike," ordered Captain Jack Stone from the Humanity's Pride. The Earth fleet split into pairs, each targeting different parts of the base. The Dominion's defenders scrambled to respond, but they were too slow. The EMP weapon fired first. A wave of invisible energy washed over the base, shutting down every piece of alien technology. The Dominion ships, suddenly powerless, began to drift. Their backup systems would take precious minutes to activate, minutes they didn't have. Earth's ships struck with brutal efficiency. They fired traditional missiles, something the aliens had dismissed as obsolete. But these missiles carried warheads based on the pulse weapons that had worked so well in Earth's defense. Their arrogance blinds them, Captain Stone observed as another alien ship exploded. They never considered that primitive weapons could be combined with their advanced technology. The battle lasted only 20 minutes. When it was over, the Dominion's largest supply base in this sector was destroyed. But humanity wasn't finished. As the base burned, Earth's ships began their next phase, performing micro-jumps. This was something the Dominion had thought impossible. Their ships always plotted careful long-distance jumps. But humans, with their reckless nature, had discovered they could make very short, faster-than-light jumps. It was dangerous, but it gave them a huge tactical advantage. The Earth fleet appeared and disappeared across the sector, striking military targets before the Dominion could respond. Supply lines were cut. Communication relays were destroyed. Smaller outposts fell in quick succession. "They're panicking," reported an intelligence officer monitoring alien communications. "They're calling us space demons. They can't understand how we're moving so fast between targets." The Dominion rushed reinforcements to the sector, but they were always too late. The human fleet would strike and vanish, leaving destruction in their wake. Each victory provided more captured technology, more data, more advantages. After a week of continuous attacks, the Earth fleet prepared to return home. They had destroyed 37 military targets and captured enough alien technology to build 10 more ships. But more importantly, they had sent a message. Humanity wasn't just defending its home. It was taking the fight to the enemy. The Dominion had started this war thinking Earth would be an easy conquest. Now they faced an enemy that could strike anywhere, without warning. As the fleet jumped back to Earth, Captain Stone made a final log entry. The Dominion thought they were punishing a primitive species. Instead, they created their worst nightmare: humans with access to space warfare technology. And we're just getting started. The counterattack had succeeded beyond all expectations, but this was just the beginning of humanity's response to those who had threatened their world. The discovery came from an unexpected source. A music teacher turned military analyst noticed something while studying captured Dominion shield frequencies. Their shields work like musical notes, she explained to the War Council. They stay in perfect harmony. That's their weakness. Dr. Miller and his team worked nonstop for a week to develop what they called the Symphony of Death. It was a weapon that changed its attack frequency thousands of times per second, like a deadly piece of music played at impossible speeds. The first test exceeded all expectations. The prototype weapon tore through Dominion shields like they weren't even there. But building enough of these weapons for the entire fleet would take time. Time Earth might not have. Intelligence reported that the Dominion was gathering its largest fleet yet. 10,000 ships were preparing to attack Earth. They had finally realized that humanity posed a real threat to their empire. "We can't wait," General Thompson declared. "We attack now, with what we have." The Earth fleet had grown to 50 ships, but only 5 carried the new Symphony weapons. It would have to be enough. The human fleet jumped into the heart of Dominion space. This time, they weren't conducting hit-and-run attacks. This was an all-or-nothing battle for survival. Captain Stone's voice was steady as he gave the order. All Symphony-equipped ships moved to attack positions. The rest of the fleet, prepare to engage on my mark. The Dominion fleet commanders laughed when they saw the tiny human force approaching. Their arrogance had cost them before, but surely 50 ships couldn't threaten 10,000. The Symphony weapons fired. The effect was immediate and devastating. Dominion shields flickered and failed as the rapidly changing frequencies tore through their defenses. Entire squadrons of alien ships went dark, their systems overloaded by the chaotic energy patterns. "They're breaking formation," shouted a tactical officer. The mighty Dominion fleet was falling into chaos. Their rigid military doctrine had no answer for this new weapon that defied their understanding of warfare. The rest of Earth's fleet struck hard, targeting the confused and vulnerable enemy ships. Humanity's vessels darted between the massive alien warships, their smaller size now an advantage in the crowded battlefield. But the Dominion still had numbers on their side. They surrounded the human fleet, preparing to overwhelm them with sheer firepower. That's when Earth revealed its final surprise. Hidden inside cargo containers, thousands of small drones launched from the human ships. Each carried a miniature version of the Symphony weapon. The drones swarmed through the Dominion fleet like angry insects, their weapons disrupting shields and systems everywhere they went. "This is impossible," a captured Dominion commander would later say. "We've ruled space for 1,000 years. How could primitives defeat our greatest fleet?" The battle raged for hours. When it ended, over half the Dominion fleet was destroyed or disabled. The rest retreated in panic, leaving their damaged ships behind. Human crews quickly moved to capture the abandoned vessels, adding their technology to Earth's arsenal. News of the battle spread quickly through the galaxy. Other alien races, long oppressed by the Dominion, watched in amazement as the primitive humans shattered the Empire's greatest fleet. But the victory came with a cost. 15 Earth ships were lost, their crews sacrificing themselves to ensure humanity's survival. Their names would be remembered forever as the heroes who helped turn the tide of the war. In the aftermath, Dr. Miller studied the captured Dominion ships. "Their technology is still superior to ours in many ways," he reported, "but they stopped innovating centuries ago. They never expected to face an enemy who would think differently." The Dominion's defeat marked a turning point in the war. Their aura of invincibility was shattered. Their own people began questioning their leadership. The empire that had threatened Earth with extinction was beginning to crumble. As Earth's fleet returned home, Captain Stone addressed his crew. "Today we proved something important. It's not the strongest species that survives, but the most adaptable." The Dominion learned too late that they picked a fight with the wrong planet. The war wasn't over, But everyone knew that this battle had changed everything. Humanity had shown the galaxy that technological superiority meant nothing without the creativity to use it well. The difference between humans and the Dominion became clear in how they treated conquered worlds. Where the Dominion used fear, humanity offered hope. Earth's fleet arrived at Proxima, a Dominion colony world. The alien civilians expected the same brutality their leaders had shown to others. Instead, they heard a message in their own language. "We are not here to harm civilians. We will give you 6 hours to evacuate before we destroy military targets. This is not negotiable." General Thompson had been clear about the rules of engagement. "We're better than them," he told his commanders. "We fight their military, not their people. Show the galaxy what humanity really stands for." The evacuation of Proxima became a turning point. Alien families watched in surprise as human ships helped transport civilians to safety. Some Dominion soldiers even laid down their weapons to help with the evacuation. "My whole life, they told us humans were savage primitives," a Dominion civilian told his rescuers. "But you show more honor than our leaders ever did." Captain Stone led the attack after the evacuation. The military bases on Proxima fell quickly, their defenders demoralized and confused by humanity's approach to warfare. Many surrendered rather than fight. News spread through the Dominion Empire. Their propaganda couldn't hide the truth anymore. Humans weren't just winning battles, they were winning hearts and minds. 3 more colonies have requested human protection, reported Earth's intelligence chief. The Dominion is facing internal rebellion. Their own people are turning against them. The Dominion leadership responded with brutal force against their own civilians. This only made things worse. Whole fleets refused orders to fire on civilian targets. Some commanders defected to the human side, bringing their ships and crews with them. Dr. Miller worked with the defectors, learning more about Dominion technology. "Their society is like their shields," he observed, "rigid, unchanging, and vulnerable to the right kind of disruption." Earth's fleet grew stronger with each defection. Human crews worked alongside alien allies, combining their different perspectives to create better strategies. The Dominion's 1,000-year-old tactics couldn't compete with this new adaptive approach. A major turning point came at the Battle of New Hope, a colony that had requested Earth's protection. The Dominion sent a punishment fleet to make an example of the rebels. They found themselves facing both human ships and their own defected forces. "All ships, protect the civilian centers," ordered Captain Stone. The battle that followed showed how much humanity had learned. Earth ships and their alien allies moved in perfect coordination, using tactics that confused and overwhelmed the rigid Dominion formations. The punishment fleet was destroyed without a single civilian casualty. More importantly, the battle was broadcast across the Empire. Everyone saw how the humans fought to protect others, not just to destroy enemies. Civil war erupted within the Dominion. More colonies declared independence, asking for Earth's protection. The Empire's military split, with many choosing to side with the humans they had once been ordered to destroy. "Their empire is collapsing," General Thompson told the Earth Council. "Not because we destroyed it, but because we showed their people a better way." The Dominion leadership, hiding in their fortified capital world, faced a choice: continue a war they were now losing or admit defeat. Their own military commanders gave them no choice. "Surrender," the commander of their largest remaining fleet told his leaders, "or we will join the humans and make you surrender." He had seen Earth's strength firsthand and knew the old empire could not survive. The war was ending, not with the extinction of either side, but with transformation. Humanity had proven itself not just as warriors, but as leaders who could show mercy even to those who had threatened them. As the Dominion leadership prepared to surrender, Captain Stone made a final log entry. "We could have destroyed them completely. Instead, we chose to save them from themselves. That's the real victory, proving that humanity's strength lies not in our ability to destroy, but in our capacity to change even our enemies into allies." The galaxy was about to enter a new era, and humanity would help lead the way. The surrender ceremony took place on neutral ground, the International Space Station, now expanded with alien technology. The once mighty Dominion leaders looked small and tired as they signed the peace treaty with Earth's representatives. "We misjudged humanity," the Dominion High Commander admitted during the ceremony. "We saw your rapid progress as a threat. Instead, it was exactly what the galaxy needed." The Galactic Council, which had watched the war from a distance, sent representatives to the ceremony. They had stayed neutral during the conflict, but now they couldn't ignore humanity's achievement. "In all our records," the council speaker announced, "no species has ever defeated the Dominion. But more importantly, no species has shown such wisdom in victory." General Thompson, now gray-haired from the stress of war, stood before the gathered aliens and humans. "We didn't fight this war to destroy an empire," he said. "We fought because someone threatened our right to exist. Now we'll help build a galaxy where no species ever makes that mistake again." The changes came quickly. Earth joined the Galactic Council, but with conditions. The old system of powerful empires controlling younger races had to end. Every species would have an equal voice. Dr. Miller led a new initiative, the Galactic Science Exchange. "For too long, advanced species hoarded knowledge," he explained at its opening. "Now we'll share what we know, learn from each other, and grow together." The former Dominion worlds transformed. With human help, colonies that had only known military rule learned to govern themselves. Earth's fleet, now joined by many alien allies, became peacekeepers rather than conquerors. Captain Stone took command of the first joint human-alien training academy. The galaxy kept peace through fear of the Dominion. He told his mixed crew of cadets, "We'll keep it through understanding and cooperation." But humanity didn't forget the lessons of war. Deep in Earth's mountains, scientists continued developing new technologies and strategies. "Peace through strength," as General Thompson often said, but strength tempered by wisdom. The Galactic Council changed too. Ancient alien races that had grown stagnant found themselves inspired by human innovation. Trade flourished as species shared ideas and culture freely for the first time in millennia. Some worried that humanity would become the new Dominion, replacing one empire with another. But Earth's leaders remembered their own history too well. "We know the price of tyranny," the UN Secretary-General declared. "We won't become what we fought against." 5 years after the war's end, the first human colonies were established beyond the solar system. Unlike the Dominion's military outposts, these were peaceful settlements where humans and aliens lived together, learning from each other. The symphony weapon that had helped win the war was modified for peaceful purposes. Its rapidly changing frequencies proved perfect for new medical treatments and faster space travel. What had been created for destruction now saved lives. Former enemies became close allies. The Dominion's best engineers, freed from military control, worked alongside humans to solve problems their empire had ignored for centuries. Together, they made breakthroughs that benefited everyone. Looking back, Dr. Miller said at the 10th anniversary of the peace treaty, "The Dominion's threat was the best thing that could have happened to humanity. It united us, pushed us forward, and showed us our true strength." That strength wasn't just in weapons or technology. It was in humanity's ability to adapt, to show mercy, and to learn from others. The galaxy had expected savage primitives, but found teachers and allies instead. The last entry in the war records, written by General Thompson before his retirement, summed it up best. They demanded war, expecting to find an easy conquest. Instead, they found humanity's true nature. "We can be the most dangerous species in the galaxy when threatened, but we also have the wisdom to turn enemies into friends, to build rather than destroy, and to lead by example rather than force." As Earth celebrated a decade of galactic peace, the old Dominion threat seemed like ancient history. Humanity had not only survived, they had created something better than anyone could have imagined. The stars, once a source of fear, now promised endless possibilities for all species to explore together. The end of the war had become the beginning of a new age, and humanity helped light the way forward.